Hello everybody at Hot Lotus. I'm going to do around 7 arm balances. So I'm going to do an arm balance a day. Some are easier than others, some require a little bit of warm up. So I'll show you the prep exercises, but you will need to do them for longer than I show you. So first one is going to be crow. So crow is an arm balance where your arms are bent. If you're going to do crane, straight arms, I'm going to show it you with a block, and then I'll try and show you some variations, headstand, etc. from crow. The trick is with crow, you've got to find your balancing point. So it's like anything, falling, jumping off a diving board, falling in love. There's that point where you're falling. If you don't let yourself get to that point, I've got a dog, if you don't let yourself get to that point, you won't get up. So you've got to shift your weight forward to get your feet up. So you can practice with a block or with pillows if you're a little bit worried. So the hands are really important. They're always shoulder width apart. Your fingers are working really hard. So imagine them like crow's hands, if you like. You can keep your palms flat, but I actively push my fingertips into the floor, and that takes all the pressure off your wrists. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 ways. The first way is using a block. My hands are shoulder width apart. The block is like the point of an equilateral triangle, and your gaze would be towards the block. I'm going to come onto my toes and bend my legs a lot so that my knees are going into my armpits here. And I'm going to rest my forehead onto the block here. So the knees are against the arms, my head's on the block. And I'm just going to practice lifting a leg, lifting another leg. So I'm not going anywhere. The block's protecting me here. I can push my head into the block and see if I can lift my feet. So the block is protecting your head. You might need to play around with the block position a little bit. I think I needed mine a little bit more forward. So again, knees into the armpit, tipping forward, looking at the block, placing my head onto the block, lifting feet up. Okay. So once you've mastered that with a block or with pillows, you can look at different types of crow. So the first type is where hands are down, thighs are pushing into the arms, arms are pushing into the thighs. So my legs are on the outside of my arms. So squeezing in, pushing out, tipping forward, looking down and slightly forward, tipping forward, press hands into the mat, feet will lift. So if you notice, my knees are on the outside of my arms, knees are squeezing in, arms are pushing out, belly drawing in, lifting feet up, heels up. Bent arms. So I think this requires more flexibility, less strength. The other, more strength, less flexibility. So with straight arms, knees are going into the armpits, hands are shoulder width apart, gaze is forward. Getting to that tipping point, so my knees come into the armpits. If you watch the position of my shoulders here, my shoulders are over my wrists, they've got to come really far forward. I feel like my feet will lift, but my shoulders are beyond the wrists here. Pushing hands into the mat, drawing feet up, coming down. So have a play around with that. If you want to go into a headstand, from straight arm, from crane, you need to bend the arms and tuck the chin, landing your head gently onto the mat. If you can't control it, don't do it. So we'll see how this goes. So from here, straight arms, bending my arms, tucking my chin. So tag me or Hot Lotus into your vids. Let me see how you're doing.